Hey everyone, ready for today's deep dive? We're going off-road, into the world of Scout Motors.
Yeah, it's really cool to see what they're doing, bringing back the International Harvester Scout, but as an EV.
Right, and they've got some models coming out that really have people talking.
Definitely.
We're going to be focusing on two in particular, the Traveler SUV and the Terra pickup truck. And these are not your typical EVs.
No, no, no. These are, they really do look back to that classic Scout, but with a really modern twist.
Yeah, that Traveler especially, that rear window, it's just like
Oh, yeah, total throwback.
total throwback to the original Scout.
But then under the hood, it's all high-tech electric powertrain.
Yeah, and speaking of twists, they're offering a gas-powered range extender, which is...
Interesting choice, right?
Yeah, for an EV company, it's a little different.
Yeah, it definitely addresses that range anxiety that some people have. The Traveler alone has a 350-mile range.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but with that range extender, it goes up to over 500 miles.
Okay, so for longer trips, especially if you're not sure about charging.
Exactly. That's where it really comes in handy, I think.
But doesn't that add a lot of weight and complexity to the vehicle? Could that hurt its off-road performance?
It's a good question, and we'll have to see how they balance that out. Keep the performance high, even with that extra weight. It'll be interesting to see how that compares to, other EV makers who are tackling range like Rivian with their big battery packs.
Right. Okay, well, let's talk about performance, because you mentioned that cutting-edge electric powertrain. What are we talking about here? What kind of power can we expect from these vehicles?
Well, get ready for some serious power. The Traveler's got almost 1,000 pound-feet of torque, and that means a 0 to 60 time of just 3.5 seconds.
Hold on, 3.5 seconds in an SUV that's built for serious off-roading.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and it's not just about speed either. That torque gives you so much control and power when you're off-roading. Think about crawling over rocks and through mud with that kind of instant power.
I can't even imagine.
It's incredible.
Okay, you keep saying built for serious off-roading. What does that mean? Is it more than just a lifted suspension and all-terrain tires?
Oh, it's way more.
Yeah.
They have really gone all out. We're talking body-on-frame construction for durability,
Okay.
locking differentials for traction, and a disconnecting sway bar.
Okay, and for those of us who don't speak gearhead, can you explain what a disconnecting sway bar does?
Sure. So basically, when you're on a really rough trail, it lets the wheels move more independently so they can keep contact with the ground better. Gives you more stability and control.
So you don't tip over.
Exactly. And on top of all that, the Traveler can ford 3 feet of water.
Wow, they really have thought of everything. So you can handle rough terrain, but what about comfort? What's the interior like?
Oh, don't worry. They haven't forgotten about comfort. They've gone with this cloth and leather interior. So it's got a premium feel, but it's still tough enough to handle, being out in the elements.
Yeah, makes sense.
And if you want to enjoy the outdoors, there's an optional cabana top panoramic sunroof. So you can let all that fresh air and sunshine in.
It sounds like a really nice balance between ruggedness and comfort.
Yeah, you can tackle tough trails, but you're still going to be comfortable doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing you might expect in an off-road vehicle like this that they've decided not to include.
Oh, really? What's that?
A removable roof.
Oh, wow. I would have thought that would be a given with a vehicle like this.
Right. It seems like a strange choice. But they do have their reasons.
Okay, and I guess that's what we'll find out next.
Exactly. We'll dive into why they made that decision after the break. Well, Scout's head of product marketing, Shaheen Karimian, he's actually talked about this.
Okay.
And he said for a vehicle this size, removable roof panels would be,
Big.
bulky
Yeah.
heavy,
Yeah.
and could actually cause like squeaks and rattles over time.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
No.
Yeah.
So they decided to go with a solid roof for a more, refined and quieter ride.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if you're going on longer trips. You don't want to be dealing with all that noise.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they've completely ruled out a removable roof.
Oh,
Yeah. Karimian has actually hinted that it might be an option for future models, like maybe a smaller Scout, something more niche, aimed at those hardcore off-road enthusiasts.
Okay, so start with the main models and then maybe branch out later.
Yeah, I think that's a smart strategy.
Makes sense. So it seems like they're really paying attention to the details, not just the big flashy features.
Oh, absolutely. And one area where that's really evident is in some of the features they've included, specifically to enhance the ownership experience.
Okay, like what?
Well, they've got this pet mode, camp mode, and night mode.
Okay, those sound interesting. Tell me more about pet mode.
So pet mode, it's like a climate-controlled safe space for your pet.
Okay.
Similar to Tesla's dog mode. You can leave your pet in the car, and the climate control will keep running. so they stay comfortable no matter the weather.
Oh, that's great for like quick stops when you can't bring your pet inside.
Exactly. And it actually displays a message on the touch screen letting people know your pet's safe,
Oh, that's smart.
so nobody freaks out.
Yeah, good thinking. Okay, what about camp mode?
So camp mode is all about making your camping experience better.
Okay.
They haven't released all the details yet, but we know it'll include things like adjustable interior lighting, optimized energy settings for extended use,
Okay.
and maybe even some nature sounds to create a relaxing vibe.
So you can basically turn your Scout into like a mobile base camp?
Pretty much.
Yep.
And if you're into stargazing, you'll love night mode.
Night mode. What's the...
It dims the interior displays and lighting to minimize light pollution, so you get a clear view of the night sky.
Oh, wow. That's pretty awesome. So you can just relax in your Scout and enjoy the stars.
Yeah, it's a really cool feature. It really shows how Scout is going beyond just building an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
They're creating a whole experience.
It's like they're not just selling a car, they're selling a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how do you think all of this fits into the bigger picture of the EV market? I mean, it's getting pretty crowded out there.
Yeah, it is. And I think Scout is really smart to be focusing on this niche of, adventure and sustainability. It's not just about being eco-friendly. It's about experiencing the outdoors in a whole new way.
Right, and that's a really good point. It's a way to stand out in a crowded market.
Yeah, they're combining that classic rugged feel with the benefits of electric technology.
And by emphasizing those lifestyle features like pet mode and camp mode, they're showing that EVs can be more than just transportation.
Right, they can be part of your life.
Part of your adventures. Exactly. It's about creating a community around a shared passion.
So for everyone listening, Scout Motors is doing something really different. They're challenging what an EV can be.
And they're showing that you can have adventure without sacrificing sustainability.
It's an exciting time to be watching this all unfold. And Scout is definitely a company to keep an eye on. But before we wrap up, we want to hear from you. What features would you like to see in an electric off-roader? Let us know, because your ideas might just inspire the next generation of Scout vehicles. It's a smart move. The EV market is getting more and more competitive every day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to stand out. And I think Scott's doing a great job of that, tapping into that nostalgia
Yeah.
for the old International Harvester,
Mm-hmm.
but also appealing to a new generation of buyers.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a great job of bringing those two things together, the classic ruggedness,
Right.
but with all the advantages of modern tech.
Yeah, and it's more than just the tech itself.
Yeah.
It's how they're using it to create a whole experience.
Right, with things like that pet mode, night mode.
Exactly. They're
Mhm.
showing that EVs can be a part of your life,
Yeah.
not just a way to get around.
Exactly. So it's not just about the car itself. It's about the community, the
Indeed.
lifestyle.
And the adventure.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Absolutely. So for everyone listening, Scout Motors is really changing the game here. They're showing us that electric vehicles can be just as exciting as gas-powered ones.
Maybe even more so,
Yeah, and they're doing it in a way that's sustainable and responsible.
which is huge.
Absolutely. It's about having fun, but also being mindful of the environment.
It's definitely an exciting time to be watching the EV market evolve.
Yeah,
And Scout is right there on the leading edge.
I completely agree. They're a company to watch for sure. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. But before we go, we want to hear from you. What features would you like to see in an electric off-roader? What would make your adventures even more incredible? Let us know your thoughts. And hey, maybe your ideas will inspire the next generation of Scout vehicles. So until next time, keep exploring and thanks for joining us.